This is a quick lesson and a very important one that can help anybody as they work on developing their saxophone tone. I've been seeing a lot of this and I get a lot of questions about this precise topic, and that is playing strong and in tune as we go up the range of the horn. So that's G. Getting higher. That was the altissimo high G, but as you can hear, they get thinner, they're higher, so they lose a lot of their bottom, but our job is to make them as big as we can, and the other problem is they tend to get flatter intonation wise. So here's how we fix this. When you hit a piano note and then it's octave, it's perfectly in tune. Perfectly in tune. It's easy on the piano, not so easy on the saxophone. All three octaves, I had to make somewhat major adjustments in my face, embouchure, my throat, the air support coming from my diaphragm. So let's go over these points one by one so you can focus on each of them as you practice and try and make those high notes as big and as in tune as possible, because that's our ultimate aim. We all know we need to breathe strong from down deep in our diaphragm. That's the main part of it, and that is almost enough to get you by into playing the middle notes of the sax reasonably well. But as we go higher, we have to put other things into focus as well. One is open your throat. So lots of air from down here and open your throat. If I don't, see, I'm still playing with quite a bit of air support for my diaphragm, but I was opening and closing my throat, and you can hear that when I did that, the tone got thin and wavering. The other thing is you have to open your oral cavity up as well, meaning your whole inside of your mouth. You can hear all the changes going on, and that's me opening it up and closing it again. It's a hard thing to explain because we can't look in each other's mouths while we're playing, so you have to experiment and get the feel on your own, and it's not just doing it once and there you have it. It's playing with it. The other thing, especially as far as intonation goes, is you have to apply some extra pressure on your bottom lip. If you don't, it'll become flat. The note will. So I applied a little bit of extra pressure on my bottom lip to support the reed a little more so it doesn't play the note flat. If I don't do it, you can hear it. Now another thing is in here, in your mind, in your ear, you play the low note so you can use it as an anchor as to where the exact pitch is, because although we're jumping to the octave C, it's the same note, but it's an octave higher, right? So you want it to be the exact same pitch, intonation-wise. That require the octave higher, the above octave there requires more pressure on your bottom lip to raise it up. And when we go down the octave, so it's not sharp, we might have to make an adjustment the other way around. Lightening off, backing off on that added pressure. And that's why octaves and playing with a tuner or a piano is important. If I'm out of tune, you can hear it. And it's our job to identify the exact pitch in our head and on a lower, easier octave and reproduce the exact same tone an octave up, as close to being in tune as the low octave as possible. So I play the low note for a long time, like a good bar or two, to get it ingrained into your brain of where that tone actually is. Once you think you've got it, concentrate heavily on it, jump up the octave, and when you hit it, if it sounds off, start experimenting with all those points that I just talked about to try and bring it up to the same intonation as the lower note. Think about your diaphragm breathing, lots of support there. Open the throat so the air can come up from your diaphragm, and then keep that whole tunnel of air going into your horn by also opening up that oral cavity, and at the same time pressure from the bottom lip, all while concentrating hard on the note. It's several things to think about. Believe me, you won't be thinking about them much weeks and months down the road after you exercise like this a little bit each day. I'm breaking it down for you. I don't think about all these things when I'm playing. It just comes naturally after years and years. So, but you have to do it in the beginning and break all these steps down. Experiment with each one of them individually, and you'll start to notice a big difference in your tone.